Yo, you're watching the Screaming Fish here, people, and once again, I'm back with another movie review, but this is a bit different because, well, I'm pretty much reviewing my first non-action slash comic book movie, basically. And today, I'm reviewing Hail Caesar, directed by the Coen brothers. So, before I begin, I'd just like to say, if you're wondering why I'm kind of red in the face at the moment, it's because we went to the beach and I got sunburnt as heck. So, if you please stop staring at my tomato face, that's what I'm calling it. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into my review of Hail Caesar. So, in the early 1950s, Eddie Mannix is busy at work trying to solve all the problems of the actors and filmmakers at Capitol Pictures. His latest assignments involve a disgruntled director, a singing cowboy, a beautiful swimmer, and a handsome dancer. If all this wasn't enough, Mannix faces his biggest challenge when Bird Whitlock gets kidnapped while in costume for the Swords and Sandals epic Hail Caesar. If the studio doesn't pay $100,000, it's the end of the line for the movie star. So, I guess we start off with the good as usual. First off, the performances from each and every one of the cast, particularly from George Clooney and Alden Enrique. I can't say his name. Alden Enrique. I think that's his name. Are phenomenal. They make you feel that it is actually set in the 1950s. And Josh Brolin is fantastic in the main role. And as for the rest of the cast, like Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson, are just as good in their roles. Yeah, they're just as good in their roles. The idea of the film is probably the most original I've seen so far this year. It's set in the 50s. It's set in the 50s film studio, which is something I haven't seen in a movie before. And the film captures the feel perfectly, and the film looks visually beautiful. Seeing as how visually stunning it looks, it looks like something you'd see. Watching an 80s or 90s movie, even, which is great, even. So, unfortunately, some people who love this movie are probably going to hate me for this, but I could not find much good in this film, to be honest. So, yeah, now for the bad. And first off, I'd just like to say, this film is a mess. Literally, I say this because for one, the script is beyond convoluted. The writing is probably the most inconsistent writing that I've seen in a movie since Terminator Genisys, and that is saying something. And there's like 10 different plots going on at the same time, which is just beyond confusing. First, there's something going on with Johansson, then Clooney gets kidnapped, and this other guy has acting issues, and this is where my brain starts to groan with just confusion. I don't even know what this film is about. That's how confusing it is. And as great as the performances are, the side characters like Tatum and Johansson are just wasted and are only there for the scenes that were shown in the trailer. Not to mention, there's this stupid side plot where Channing Tatum becomes Soviet. What? And again, not to mention that this is supposed to be a comedy, and if so, I shouldn't be laughing my head off, right? That was a bit hard when most of the jokes consisted of tiresome and cliche moments, and what seems to be sad attempts at humor turned abuse. Yeah. And I must admit how Jonah Hill was in the posters, in the trailers, and was marketed as one of the main characters, only to have one single scene which lasted for about 2 minutes and just so happens to be the absolute worst and most unfunny scene in the film. So, yeah, I must say, I am extremely disappointed. The trailers made it look so brilliant, and the cast is superb. But what could have been a potentially amazing film just turned out to be a convoluted mess with confusing characters characters, wasted cast members, and, in my opinion, extremely overrated. How did this film even get an 83 on Rotten Tomatoes? How? But I guess that's her own opinion, so I don't really care, but yeah. So, yeah, you won't be surprised that I am giving this film a 3 out of 10. It only gets a 3 because of the brilliant performances and it's visually pleasing. But unfortunately, it just so happens to be the worst film I've seen this year so far. So, yeah. And I know people are gonna hate me even more when I say that I would rather watch Batman vs Superman a second time than this. And yeah, and to be honest, for what Batman vs Superman was, at least it entertained me. This movie didn't even manage to do that. And yeah, so guys, thank you for watching my Hail Caesar review. I know it was a bit negative, but that's just my opinion. And yeah, if you don't like me and you want to kill me when I say I don't like this movie, then I don't care. My opinion. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Do hope you enjoy it. And what did you think of Hail Caesar? Do you think it was a good movie, a bad one, or just sort of somewhere in the middle? But I mean, I'm sort of on. I really do not like this film, so that's my opinion. I'm sort of on a hate side with this one. But what do you guys think? That's what I want to know. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and please don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.